Hey, I just popped a pimple. I started recording and then, anyway, why it's so funny is I'm 47 years old and I'm still getting whitehead pimples. Anyway, welcome back, I guess, for both of us or all of us, for the second time, the second installment, or as the French call it, the trois installment. So what I did, I guess, since I recorded the last time, thought a lot more about it, which was about, I don't know, a week and a half ago, which is actually pretty quick for me. As I told you before, I'm a procrastinator, but already this video is helping me. That pimple's going to bother me, man, this whole time. Anyway, it's not a Carol Burnett thing where I'm tugging on my ear saying hello to anybody. It's just a 47-year-old pimple. So what I did was I went through the things that I touched on, bits that I touched on last time, through all my paperwork more thoroughly, and I come down with, I think, about, looks like 7 or 8 different topics or bits. Probably won't go with that many. Most open mic nights are, I don't know, I guess depends on how many comics are on the list. I don't know, 5, 7, 9 minutes, something like that. Some topics are, as you know, I'm sure you've watched stand-up comedy before. You know, some topics might be 10, 15 seconds, like one-liners, or some may go on one topic for 15, 20 minutes. Just because I'm new to this, and I think one of my biggest fears, which has held me back from getting on stage, is forgetting what I'm going to talk about. I always remember the topic, but what I'm guilty of doing is I try to remember the lines too much instead of kind of going with the flow. So as of now, being a newbie, I just try to keep them to a minute or two topics, so I'll remember. I don't stress myself out as much. I don't get worried as much. But sometimes, I think one time I did it, maybe one of the first times, it was only supposed to be 7 minutes, but I went on, or 5 or 6 minutes, but I went on for 9 minutes and I didn't realize. So, and then when I watched back, I did kind of blabber on something to like what I'm doing now. Anyway, I'll try not to keep this one as long as the last one. So yeah, so what I did is I went through all my topics. I'm just going to touch on which ones I'm going to go with for now. There's a few that I added that we didn't go over last time as I was going through the books, and I think they'd be quite funny. So anyway, so first I went through them, just listed them all, and then I went back through them and kind of put them in somewhat order of how I'm going to do it, present them on stage. That's one of another difficult thing for me is starting into a bit. How do you get into it? How do you kind of get the audience hooked? Maybe before you get to the funny part. The funny part might not be necessarily, it might be a story that you have to set up. So, you know, it is a few different factors to think of. Maybe just the everyday viewer may not think of that. They just like to go to a comedy show, which is great, and sit back and hopefully have a laugh and a drink and be with friends and stuff like that. So anyway, whether it's funny or not, or you see a comic, you know, you can appreciate what they do put into it, because I'm sure it's all similar to what I do here. You know, I've watched a lot of comedy, I've seen a lot of great comics, and I've seen a lot of people that bomb, but, you know, I always feel for them because they do put it into it, and as they say, you know, you're probably not getting up on stage. But anyway, to each his own. So the topics that I'm going to go with, and like I said, I won't, because I'm going to go through maybe a whole many more steps. I don't know how many videos I'm going to do, how much work I'm going to do in between videos. This one was pretty simple. It was just a matter of going through. Now, for me, it kind of gets to the hard part where I got to elaborate on all these, put them in order, add words, take words out, what's funny here, what's not, or what I think is funny, and blah, blah, blah. I'm kind of going through there. But like I said, for now, I'll keep it brief and go on. I'm going to go with, of course, the mini horsecock story, but how can you not? It's a mini horsecock. I'm going to go with that one. That was the first one I wrote down here that I'm going to go with, because I knew I was going to go with it. But actually, I have it as number 7 on my list, so I don't know, depends on the audience. I don't know if you can start with talking about cock. You know, there's some audiences you may have to warm up to that. Some may not warm up to that at all, but so be it. Anyway, so I'm definitely going to do that one. And that one might be one just telling the story or elaborate on or something like that. So, but that may not be till the end. I think I'm going to go with I think I talked about this, the weed stores, the new versus the old ones. Some analogies to that. shark attacks. I don't think I mentioned anything about that. That's going to be a really short one. Actually, so what I talked about before too is, I think my segue, what I want to try in between bits is one-liners, right? Different comedians jump into another topic or a bit their own way. I might try that, I don't know yet. But I do have a bunch of one-liners. As I said, I'm not going to read them out now because when you watch the video, if you watch the video, I want you to be a little bit, maybe laugh. I don't know if you're laughing now or then or whatnot, but, maybe laugh because the one-liners, anyway, they are what they are. So I may try to work that in, if I do a topic here and then I'm going on to another topic, I'll just kind of pause, take a drink of water, kind of let the audience know that that one's over, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully let them finish laughing. Say that one-liner just kind of out of the blue. Hopefully get a laugh, and then just boom, go right on to the next topic. I don't know how that'll work. I don't know if I'll do that. But anyway, I've had that in the back of my mind for a while, whether I do it this time or another time, or put the one-liners. I'm starting to accumulate a little bit more one-liners, so I don't know if I don't, maybe I'll leave it for a year or so and have a whole bunch and maybe just do a whole routine of one-liners, the old Rodney Dangerfield kind of topic. So anyway, shark attacks might be that. And this one I didn't talk about last time because I was going through and I think I'm going to add it to the Smelly Cat. I'm going to do the Smelly Cat with the friends, but about watching TV back in the day and how I'm looking at it differently now with my kids, and then even watching the Flintstones is what I have here for Betty Flintstone. Here, I'll give a quick story of it, how I thought about this long time ago. This might have been a couple years ago. I was watching an episode of the Flintstones, probably before my kids were even born, and in one of them I come to find out, one of the episodes, that Wilma and Fred could only afford one car. That was one of the episodes, that they only had one car, and obviously it didn't even have a floor or brakes or whatnot like that back in the Stone Age. So my weird mind again, almost like the horse cock. So I thought of the oldest profession in the book. Do you know where I'm going with this? If you don't, the oldest profession in the book is prostitution, being a hooker, right? So I'm going to kind of go on is, Betty Flintstone is a good-looking lady. I'm sure she had avenues to make other means of money, money to come in. Hence the oldest profession in the book. There's no need. They could have had a different lifestyle had they would have got with the times, something like that. Yeah, I think that's a good one. I'm going to kind of add it into that one as well, or tie it in with watching the old shows, the Friends and stuff like that. So I'm going to do that. This one I don't think I touched on. It's new to wearing glasses. I've had glasses, for a number of years. Actually, since I was 16, probably not like you care, but I just really had to start wearing them all the time. So coming from wearing sunglasses a lot and being a man and then going to glasses, how I'm going to touch on this topic is it's changed, because what's the obvious from going, what do guys do when they wear sunglasses on and they're on a beach or walking down the street and a beautiful girl's around? Yeah, you're looking at their chest, right? So my bit or hopeful comedy bit will be, when I first got glasses for the first couple of months, I kept forgetting that I wasn't wearing sunglasses and kept getting caught in inopportune times looking at girls' breasts, something like that. Or a man's breast, famous men's breast, like my buddy. You know what? Sometimes when you read a comedy bit, or to myself, or when you write it, sometimes it seems really funny, and then other times you go over it again, it doesn't seem as funny, and I'm sure that's how audiences are too. That's why if you watch a comedian, a regular comedian, and they have their same set, sometimes the audience really gets into it, or he's having an on night, or she's having an on night, a great night, and then you could watch the exact same routine the next night and the audience is not into it, or they're, it could be the word for word, but just totally different. And I kind of feel that way sometimes when I'm writing and reading. Sometimes I'm writing stuff or thinking stuff and I'm fucking laughing my head off and crying to myself and thinking, man, everybody's going to think this is funny. But then, maybe a couple weeks later when I write it a little bit more, I'm like, maybe it wasn't that funny. But then the next time I come back to it, it's funny. So anyway, I guess I'm telling you that because that's where I'm at now. The new to wearing glasses bit, there was a time when I thought that was hilarious, right? The funny, oh, I can add to this and people will relate. Maybe it is, but now reading it and wearing it out, writing it out, maybe it's not going to be that funny. But anyway, that's what we go through. That's what I go through, and that's what I'm doing with this whole video type thing is, you know, the process of comedy from our end, from my end of writing and what we're thinking and how we're going to deliver and all that stuff. So that's just what I think, or that's how I think sometimes about topics. Homeless people, I know we did talk on that. I'm going to definitely talk about that too. Baby fetus, car seats with the smelly cat I have written here. This one here I haven't, I went through my notes, and vasectomy. And I think this is going to be a real funny one. So I don't want to talk too much about it now, but of course it's going back to a story where after our second kid, my girlfriend wanted me to get a vasectomy, you know, and then eventually I did. And I think, how does it go? Again, I'll add to this. I don't have a whole lot written on it. What was it? I think the stipulation was whenever you come back with your specimen after 6 weeks or whatever it is, you need to take it back within 24, 48, 72 hours of ejaculation. So, of course, my mind just goes, you know, it's not just within the cup, you know, they didn't specify of how to take it back. So, do you take it back in your hands? Do you take it back in your girlfriend's mouth? So you're coming into the doctor's office with your girlfriend, but she's puffy cheeked, and you're like, "Come on, nurse, we only got an hour to go. Let's check this shit out." Fuck. Yeah, that and the horse cock. I think that'll go over quite well, depending on the audience. Fuck. Anyway. And then one other thing, I have the ADHD of my brother-in-law with the showering and fucking cleaning the toilet because he had like 8 or 9 seconds to spare. I still picture him, well, not picture him naked, but I just picture him there thinking, fuck, I got 8 seconds to spare, what can I do? That toilet looks dirty. Yeah, so anyway, that's about 6 or 7 topics. I get a minute or 2 on each, if I could do them all, or 2 minutes on each again, depending how the night rolls, depending how it rolls when I get to it. You know, this will be the gist of it. I hope to not change it up too much when I start writing or think of other stuff or add to it or whatnot. But anyway, so hopefully these or many of these will be in the end result. Hopefully they'll be funny. Well, I know the vasectomy horse cock will be because how can it not? And then the one-liners. So yeah, that's about it. I will just, yeah, hopefully sooner than later, I'll start getting to writing and see what I come up with and kind of then time and frame it from there. But I'll explain a little bit more as we go on. So that's that. All right. Well, thanks for number 12, and we'll see you for the next time. Hopefully.